All right, guys, I'm going to walk you through this. Just in case you're struggling, you have a doubt, I'm going to do an actual business model analysis for a company that's not a retailer in this case, but one that is very important, actually one right now that you're using their platform. So I'm going to insert my name, and I'm going to go with class period is period zero. Truthfully, I don't have a period. I never period. So just going to go through this. That's the first slide. Second slide, you have these video instructions that you can utilize to come back into if you need them. And then we're going to hit up checkpoint one. Checkpoint one, don't get this confused. Don't trip yourself up. All we're doing is filling in the notes from our slides. And really all I'm looking for here are your keywords. Now, this could be a little bit cumbersome because we got to put stuff in here, move it around, which sometimes can be annoying. I'm not going to lie, Canva, but it's much better than any other system that I've seen. So all I'm doing is putting in keywords. Now, I know them all, but I'm still going to go in order. Okay? So the order I go in is the order of the actual business model canvas. So we're going to go to value proposition. Number one is customer segments. That's our target audience. I added some extra notes for you guys just in case. Don't forget, you can simply go into our entrepreneurship module, and it's right here. Here's all the notes, more notes you'll ever need. Here's one for traditional retail. This can be very helpful for you when you're filling out these slides because it really tells you what all of these companies that you're realizing have to do. And it's got some completed canvases in there. So I'm going to come back into here and I'm going to start filling this out just one by one. So unique and worth buying. That is our value proposition. That's our keyword. I'm going to change the size here. And I'm going to go with 25. I'm going to drag it up and boom. Now, I also need a I also need a number here. You're going to be doing this for each one. I'm just going to drag it here. Number two. Number three, we're working through the canvas, okay? Number three is going to be our customer channels, all right? Our customer channels are just simply how we reach our customers and how they reach us. Okay, so that's going to be our keyword right there for reach. Then we're going to knock in a three and put that in the appropriate spot, which right there looks good. If you want, I'll go through right now and just number it. Here we're going to have four, customer relationships, five, which is revenue streams, six, we have our key activities, seven is going to be our key resources, and eight is going to be our key partners. All right, we got one left, and that's going to be cost structure. I'm going to drag it down there to number nine. Now, this whole side of the canvas is company centric, meaning it's revolving around the company. This side is all customer centric, and this really connects both with the value proposition. As we continue to go through here, we're going to do our keywords for each section. I'm going to pop in. Here it's going to be customer service, and there are self-service models. There are personal assistance models, which we actually speak to somebody. Self-service, we're taking care of ourselves, taking on most of the actions, or not all of the actions, responsible in our relationship with the company. We'll have also automated, where it's done by bots and AI, and also customer relationships. We have reviews and ratings. Okay, so that's our customer relationship box. Next up, we're going to hit up revenue streams, which are simply income. Then we're going to go over to key activities, which are actions, key resources, which are going to be our assets, of which there are four types. We're only going to focus on three in this one. Those three are physical assets, things that are tangible, things that you can touch, equipment, buildings, stores, um, inventory. All right. And we also have intellectual assets, our brand, our copyrights, our patents, our app or website. And finally, human. These are the folks that work at our company. So it just depends upon the company you're working with or analyzing when we're thinking about the actual people that are working in the company. Next up, we're going to work over to key partners. And key partners are allies or collaborators, people that we work with to help deliver our value proposition. All of these things work back into here. This is the driving idea of our company, right? Our cost structure, simply our expenses. Next up, we're going to go to the next slide, which is going to be the lean model canvas. So the order is somewhat different on the lean model canvas just because there's different sections to what we're doing. So customer segments, it's still going to be our target audience. Okay. Early adopters, those are our ideal customers. Up here, I'm going to place a 1. Then we're going to move over here to our customer problems. These are the actual issues that are facing each customer segment. What are the problems that they are having in the world that might drive them to utilize a product or a service like ours? So we're going to try to list 3. We want to, you can have more, but 3 is the optimal number. And our keyword is frustrations. Next up, existing alternatives. These are the guys that are already answering the need of these customers. Who are we competing against? Who are we trying to win business from? All right. Next up, we're going to move over here to our unique value proposition. And this is what makes us unique and worth buying once again. And our solution, those are just our top features, the things that we do well that offer solution or help and help to solve these problems that we saw over here. Then we're going to hit channels again, which is our reach, our customer relationships. Ooh, that's not spelled right. Which is going to be our customer service model. Our revenue streams are up next. That's going to be once again our income. Our cost structure is next. That's our expenses. And finally, our key metrics. Guys, our key metrics, the most important measurements. If you go back into here and check underneath BMC retail, this vocabulary, guys, inside of our module has some really good key metrics at the bottom. All of these, revenue per visitor, average transaction value, is generally the North Star metric for retail companies, and that's how much somebody is actually making on average for purchase. How much they average on a purchase. That's very important because somebody can go in and if they're only buying $10 worth of stuff versus $1,000 worth of stuff, there's a large difference there in those average purchases. Okay, so we've got this bad boy almost filled out. All right, we need to finish this and change this to data and North Star metric, the most important metric. All right, that is the first checkpoint right there. Boom and done. Next up, I'm going to hit up over here. You got four companies to choose from. I'm not going to choose from any of these companies. I'm going to do something different. All right. I'm going to do Canva. So I'm going to come over here to this next slide, and Canva is what I'm going to write here. Obviously, going to make it bigger. I'm going to change it to all caps by hitting this button, and then I'm just going to bust it up. So I'm going to change this image here by going to Elements. Okay. Why am I doing that? And I'm going to find a photo. So I'm going to do a photo. I'm going to put in Canva. And there's my logo. Boom. I've got Canva in there. I've got my name there. And we're ready to rock and roll. So who's using Canva? Let's talk about it. Oops. Jumped around on you. Who's using Canva? Here we go. I'm getting rid of all my instructions. I don't know why I keep doing that. It's driving me crazy. But potential customer segments. All right. I'm going to go with college students. All right. People in school. And you know what? Let me be broader and just put students. I'm going to go with teachers and marketers, people that run a business of promotion. This could be people that are actually promoting other businesses. This could be people within their business that are promoting themselves. In fact, let's change that to promoters. All of these are potential segments. There's many more. Canva is a super powerful tool. But I'm going to change this. I'm going to come here. I'm going to delete that photo. I'm going to delete that photo. And I'm going to delete that photo. So let's start with the first one. Elements of student. Boom. Got a student. Big picture. Going to resize it. Drag it into there. Next one, I got teachers. What's for the teacher? Yeah. Boom. Teacher. Got it. I'm going to pop it in there. And you know what? Let's even change this. I think it's a better word. Professional. It's more of an applicable word in the sense that that's a bigger segment that encapsulates a lot of small ones. All right. So I got three customer segments here. As I move over, because I have three segments, I'm going to create a persona for each one. So the first one I'm going to do is a student, and my student's going to be named Julia. All right. Julia, let me just kind of take out this writing. Let's knock it out. All right. Attend school at NYU, New York University. Pet lover, social, loves to have parties. Not really a lot of income here. Income's not as important. She's a student. She does have a side job as a waitress. Loves Target, Zara, and is health conscious. I'm going to find a picture. We put in blue. That's all right. Nope. Student, once again, I've got a picture here. Cover that up. Boom. Next up, I'm going to look at a teacher. I'm going to do Mr. Lewis. I wish I was nearing retired age. So, um, this teacher loves kids, can't stand teenage boys. Just joking. Can't stand laziness and people who don't accept their charity. Just joking. All right. Loves kids, loves animals, tech geek that is always looking for new tools, involved in volunteering, etc., etc. So just trying to create like a picture of somebody that we can think about or focus on as we move forward. This helps to really humanize our customer and to make them into something real and tangible and not just some demographic or geographic or psychographic or behavioral segmentation, right? Uh, Next up, we're going to do a professional. We're going to do Kate. And Kate, let's talk about Kate. She is a party planner, loves to design, exercises daily, travels the world, and wants children. So on and so forth, guys. These are our customer personas. They're going to be very different for your companies, but if you can align them to your customer segments, you're in a good spot. You know, and I might say this too. One thing I did not add here is I'm gonna make this a little smaller so we have a little room. Yes. Same thing here. My bullet so we can see it better. I think we'll add geographic segmentation. So I'm going to add it there. Galveston. She's got New York City, and here's somebody in San Francisco. That's where they're located. Very urban place. All right. Customer personas. Next up, customer problems. I'm going to focus on students. I'm going to start with students here. Adobe Illustrator is super complicated to use. Adobe Illustrator is expensive. Students don't have time to make everything from scratch. All right. Those are three problems that our customer segments are going to face. And that's three reasons, in a sense, that somebody might turn to Canva. Now, when I go to Canva, existing alternatives, we've got Adobe Illustrator. That's the biggest one. That's the original graphic design tool. What else could I use? I could use Microsoft Office, or I could use Google Suite. Okay. Now, I do want to take these pictures and I want to change these elements that make sense. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to get out of photos. I'm going to go into graphics. I'm going to do Adobe. That is the logo for Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to do Microsoft Office. There you go. Something that represents Microsoft Office. And so on and so forth for Google Suite. I would do the same thing. Next up, we got our value proposition. What is it that really makes Canva so special, so unique, so worth buying, or what in this case, so worth using? So Canva is an online design tool that is free for students and teachers and offers an easy platform to meet any design. That is a value proposition. Canva has a really powerful one. It's one that's attracting people to it. So what's Canva's solutions? All right. So I would say it's a truly a feature-packed website with multiple tools that are easy to use. It provides a large library of pre-made, high-quality designs. And finally, it's free for teachers, students, and nonprofits. All of those are solutions that this company offers. It makes it so successful and powerful. What are its channels right now? Website, boom, that's it. For its communication, we're talking word of mouth, viral, in the sense that it just kind of spread, guys. I never saw Canva do a advertisement. Somebody just told me. So word of mouth is what makes it so powerful. Its channel is simply its website. It doesn't have an app that I know of, and it's really, really functional. Customer relationships. The model here, to be frank with you, is really simple. It's just self-service. You are doing all the work. You're teaching yourself. There is customer support and online teaching tools, but everything's dependent upon you. You're not going to talk to anybody. You are going to work through this yourself, learn or go on YouTube and learn from somebody else. Be taught by a teacher. That's its customer relationship right there in a nutshell. Okay, so next up, we've got our revenue streams. How does Canva make money? Subscription fees. Simple as that. They don't have any of the revenue streams, guys. You can pay for Canva Pro, and that's it. That's how they make money. It's a company worth $3.2 billion, so obviously they're doing something right. Now, will they find other ways? I think so, eventually, but you can use a free version too. Then you kind of start to see that, man, the pro version is probably worth it. If you wanted to add here some pictures, you could, just because it's pretty bland on this slide. I might put in revenue here, change my color up to match my theme, and boom. You can make this kind of however you want. All right, so that's the customer side of it. Next up, we're going to go to checkpoint three. On checkpoint three, we're looking at what is it that Canva has to do to develop or to deliver this value proposition. Number one, provide a template library of designs. It needs to create or do platform development and website improvement, so it's a better experience. We might call that also, in a sense, improving functionality and the customer experience. You will want to change these graphics to align. Notice these things are grouped. Just ungroup them and allow them to click up here and change that color. All right. So moving forward, next up, all right, we're going to be going to our key resources. I'm going to be honest with you. Canva doesn't have a lot of physical resources. It's not that type of company. It doesn't really apply here. We might put uh, some office space. It's minimal. Uh, some technology, computers. That's not really what we're thinking about here. But where it does shine is intellectual. First thing, the brand is powerful. It's got enormous intellectual property in the form of the website, templates, and designs. Also, it has some copyrights that are involved with all of the things that you see here above that protect it. Human resources, clearly innovative leadership, graphic designers, and programmers. All those things that tie into developing this technology so it's successful. And then finally, our key partners. I'm going to start off here, honestly, with investors, just because it's a growing company still, so it needs that outside investment. Then we might do with educational partners. And finally, other businesses that might want to leverage this type of technology or to help it grow. And that's our key partners. Our key allies are our key collaborators. Next up, our North Star metric. And what I'm going to say here for them is probably number of Canva Pro users, but I might even say just number of users. Metric two, we might say design uh, library growth. And I'm going to say conversion rate here. How many folks go from the free version to the paid? So what percentage of people actually do that? Or how many people, if we look at somebody, if there's a thousand people that are using Canva, if 750 eventually sign up for the paid version, that is a 75% conversion rate. And that would be fabulous and fantastic. It's an approachable number for them. Cost structure, number one, platform development. Got to make sure that this app, that this website is really offering value. Cost two, you're going to have digital infrastructure. I wish I had a spelling feature. So digital infrastructure meaning, servers, technology, right? And number three, we're going to say human resources or capital. And that's kind of in this sense, hiring the right people for the right positions, for the right things. So that takes you through all the slides. And then when you get here, all you're doing is just taking all that information that you just put together and throwing it into each one of these canvases. Remember, this side of the canvas right here is going to be the same for both. There might be a little bit of difference here for early adopters. I just would have simply added students or teachers. I'm just filling it out. So that takes you through every slide in some more detail with the expectations for the project. Use this how you will. It's going to be slightly different in the sense that you're analyzing a retail company, but the pathway to your success is absolutely